This is our beginning of the reflective period, right? The council. Because this offering is very much channeled, you'll already see it's not just release, right? Because oftentimes what we're also doing is retrieving, right? That's what a retrograde can also be. So, again, opening further to what is possible during a retrograde cycle. And then the rest periods are for a time to integrate the experience, to take a look at what you've learned, what information you have gathered in your embodied research, right? We're going to talk a little bit. I'm going to go into the hidden, implicit, hopefully supportive structures of this program as well. But this is also a form of embodied research. Retrogrades are queer, right? I think there's already some evidence, right? It's playing with time. It's playing with a sensory element of the human, right? It's a visual illusion. A retrograde planet is said to operate according to some mysterious inner principle. And I'm reading again a quote from Erin Sullivan's book on retrograde planets traversing the inner landscape. So she writes, a retrograde planet operates according to some mysterious inner principle, completely disregarding the social rules established by the other members of the solar system. It can therefore deviate widely from what the consensus of the psyche deems socially correct, acting, say, as a maverick energy, not cooperating with the totality in the process of self-consciousness, erupting or imploding erratically, because its development is not contingent upon the development of other planets or of the whole horoscope. I hear a lot in that. One, retrogrades offer a great deal of opportunity. Two, retrograde planets can become quite volatile. And I would say, without a supportive individual process, I'd rather work with a retrograde than sort of run and hide from it and let it just kind of do all its things it's going to do. Thinking about that is what kind of led me to wondering, like, have people been writing about retrogrades as queer? And I haven't found a ton of stuff, but I did find some things. And I think it came up in the open house, but there was actually an art exhibit called Retrogrades. And the curator wrote that, retrogrades are queer in that they represent an exception or even a challenge to normativity. Again, this idea of departing from the main highway altogether. They are seekers or explorers searching for something not available in sort of the main highways. One of the benefits of a retrograde cycle, and this is, again, me taking Donna Haraway's Stay with the Trouble and queer, I don't know. This is, one of the benefits of a retrograde cycle, I would propose, and this is where we get to experiment, is that it incites and invites us to stay with the trouble, right? This phrase, right? To stay with the trouble, right? Retrogrades do bring a heightened intensity. That's the point, right? That's actually the point. But they invite us to stay with the trouble of the contradiction, of the paradoxes, right? Instead of trying to run and fix things too soon. It's not about not taking action, but it's about jumping to action before we have actually taken time to listen, to think, to be with, to grieve, to fully experience. Saturn, especially Saturn in Pisces, this is the realm of direct experience. This is the realm of wisdom. This is not the realm of I read a book and I know it. No, I know it in my bones. Saturn wants me to be free. Period. Saturn wants me to be free, right? Free to bring more of myself into the world. In some ways, and I say this for me, regardless of what other people are going to think. Because for every person that has a critique, there's going to be a person that really needed to hear or be with or learn or, So one of the things that I kind of want to propose, particularly for Saturn in Pisces, is how do we become more disciplined in our imagination? Because I think that there's a lot of things that have gotten imagined that have led us down some terrible paths in this world, right? Empire is in somebody's imagination, right? That to me, colonialism came out of an undisciplined imagination that wasn't thinking, right, clearly, with insight, with discrimination about the future, right, was not playing the long game. So how can we become more disciplined in our imagination, right? Again, because Pisces, one of Piscean energy vulnerabilities is illusion and deception, But that's, again, that I say that not because it's a judgment, that's just an energy, right? And so how do we practice discipline around our imaginal function, right? Which is a gift, that we can imagine something that does not yet exist and begin to take the small actions and steps to bring it into a reality. The petition is a prayer. And so we'll talk more about specific devotional elements, but rather than explain it, I'll just read you kind of a snippet of the one that I'm working on, right? It's a draft, so it's not complete because but here's an element of it. Medea Saturn, because I come from a place where people call Mother's Medea. Medea Saturn, elder of time and necessity, remind me to savor each day of my life. Let my heart and soul be an open antenna, attuned to the beauty that exists in this mysterious world I get to live in, even as I am at times overwhelmed by the suffering. Teach me prudence and moderation, so that I may appropriately channel my desires in service to the highest good of all beings present and future. That's a petition. I'm not there yet. That's what I'm asking to have cultivated in my soul, right? To have Saturn's support for. It's a prayer.